Hello, everyone. Lore Master of Sotek here with the Great Book of Grudges, and we're back. Lorebeards is back once again amidst all sorts of craziness going on in the world, and it is so lovely to see you all. We've got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to check up on, a lot of things have happened. The world was and continues to be quite busy, but thankfully, things have settled enough that we are able to get together on a Thursday of all days and check in and just kind of talk about everything that's going on in the world. So, Nathan, how you been?
Good. Just finally relaxing a bit after Immortal Empire is released. It's taken about a month, but I think now is the time that schedules can go back to normal.
Yeah, that kind of berserker release frenzy is settled, is cleared. Everyone is starting to get clear vision again and
Yeah.
settling back into the traditional state of when's the next DLC.
I don't think that ever ended. I was streaming when we were doing the whole early access stuff. I was getting everyone going, "Where, Chorf's when?" It's like Champions of Chaos literally hasn't even come out yet. Like, chill.
Yeah. Be like the Chaos Dwarfs. Be patient.
Exactly.
They waited thousands of years before they made their move. We gotta emulate them on that. But good to hear you're doing all right. You've been what all have you been up to besides Warhammer stuff? You've been doing anything? I know you've been playing Classic. How's that? All that stuff going?
Yeah, I caved and got into Classic WoW. Man, it feels just like 2008 again, which is so nice. I started because I actively avoided Northrend in the later expansions because I just didn't really want to do that story again because it felt like a slog.
Hmm.
And going back there, I was like, oh God, wow, I remember where all these quests are. I remember the storyline here. I remember that. It was just really nice, honestly. It was almost like back in the day, because back in the day I actually faked being sick for a week so I could play constantly.
Yeah.
It's like I actually had my mom write a note for me and everything, which was nice.
Wow. She was looking out for you there.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, he's got the flu. It's like, yeah, I've got the flu, all right.
Yeah, I've got a really good friend of mine who we all went out on Sunday or this past Sunday to go see a movie and hang out and stuff, and he's like, all right, just so everyone's clear, like I am functionally dead for the next week, so like don't even try to reach out to me because I'm not going to respond. he's
I
a
guess I could.
he's a big WoW person, so
Yeah,
he's like I'm gonna be fighting the Lich King, so nobody even don't even bother pretending like we're friends for the next week because I'm not gonna answer.
Wrath was just like the best expansion. Like the story ended in such a high note and everything is just so good. It feels nice to be back there. Like I'm only playing it because I'm waiting for Dragonflight, which I think you showed interest in it too, didn't you?
A little bit. I'm still kind of on the fence.
Hmm.
Like I'm kind of waiting for content creators to put out some like that cover this kind of stuff, to put out like some big lists of like what are the features, what are the pros, what are the cons, and then I can kind of weigh that.
Some of them are already doing that. Like I've been watching a lot of what's his name? Mr. GM does a lot of that type of stuff, just showcasing it. I mean, the dragon flying system just looks absolutely fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, it might be something I check out. I don't know. Like I might get around to it. I might not. I don't. It just we'll just see what happens. They don't have a release date yet, do they?
It's leaked already. It's sometime in November.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, so there'll probably be an announcement, I imagine, in October. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'd do that. In any event, if you're ready, let's go ahead and get into some news stuff. So today we're gonna kind of flip the typical schedule just because we haven't been around for a hot minute. So I think what we're gonna do is we're kind of gonna work our way through news and stuff first, and then we're gonna end today with Tale 2 Gamer stuff.
Yeah,
Because
there's a lot.
yeah, there's so many painting stuff that's been submitted. So we're gonna end with that today. In any event, let's go ahead and start with, so there was some pretty interesting Total War Warhammer stuff announced. We'll start with that hotfix 2.1.2 has dropped today, and it is out. So basically, they are just releasing a hotfix that is going to be repairing a lot of various issues in the game. Just to very quickly go over it because it's not that long. They fix some stuff for high-end Intel processors, which is going to greatly help how the game runs if you're using Intel goodies. They are also they have some intern crash fixes, which they've actually created 2 beta branches. Oh, that's interesting. So there are 2 beta branches in addition to the regular branch, which is like the live game. So if you're someone that's having a lot of crash problems on the current patch, you can roll back to update 2.0, or you can roll back to 2.1.1 until a permanent fix is released in update 2.2. And that's pretty much everything. That is the hotfix. It literally is just there to fix crash problems. So, hooray.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get that because it's infuriating. I've had it a few times whilst live, and it's like, bro, I just want to play this campaign.
Yeah, I've excuse me, I've been playing with Anticity for Ultimate Crisis thing, and there definitely are some notable bugs in the game as far as like crashes. It's weird, like not encountering as many bugs for like regular stuff. It's mostly crashed desktop in a lot of places. But in any event, another thing that got announced for Warhammer, which is super interesting, is Intel released a trailer, a new Warhammer trailer for something called what is it, Mirror of Madness? We don't know what it is yet. They did release a cool little 1-minute trailer about it, and we don't know the specifics, but I would guess that it is basically the Skaven laboratory for Warhammer 3.
Yeah.
So, because what we do see in the trailer, which I'll just toss up the trailer on my screen and people can kind of look at it, though I'm not going to have the volume on, is that it seems to show like a lot of maps, basically. It like you could see how there's like reverse gravity looks like's going on. It just looks like it has all sorts of crazy effects happening. And there are like bodies and terrain and all sorts of crazy stuff flying all over the place. So I would assume that, because that was something kind of we had available in the laboratory system, was that they had the ability for you to heavily customize your a lot of the game's like internal systems, and that looks to be what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'll be honest, couldn't care less
Yeah, I mean,
about a laboratory feature.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a very, very specific group that's going to really benefit from it. But, you know, more features, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
I would not... yeah, it's not something that I would say is right home about worthy, but it's probably going to be really fun, especially for people that like to make videos using like battle footage, and like that is their content, like Engaging Bear and other YouTube creators who are really big on creating like cinematic experiences. That might be a really fun tool for them.
Yeah. All I'm saying is we should have had a dance studio.
A dance studio?
Yes.
I mean, I've definitely seen those. I know there are modders who really like to do bizarre bizarre things with a lot of the in-game systems. I remember I know I've seen the dancing Karl Franz meme many a time, though I think that was from Warhammer 2.
Yeah.
Most of the crazy things that I see as far as like involving models are usually from like Vermintide. A lot of people like using the Vermintide models because I think they're a little better set to be manipulated.
Yeah. No, definitely. But just imagine like Karl Franz twerking for a whole 5 minutes.
I'm sure that's out there somewhere. And then moving on to some other news out in the world. There's some interesting things going on in the tabletop space. So while there's all sorts of like kind of fun reveals and stuff going on, like if you're big into Age of Sigmar, things are going really, really well these days for AOS. I've actually signed up. I'm going to be going to the Slambo Grand Tournament in San Antonio in November, so that should be a good time. Hopefully the last Grand Tournament I was at, I did was not necessarily the best time, but that was because I was sick and also had a stomach ulcer that I didn't know about. just a bunch of like bad, just combined into like a weapon of mass suffering. But so hopefully that will hopefully I won't be sick or anything like that. And but there's some bunch of nice little releases on that. The Zinch book is coming out, and I've heard some pretty interesting things on that for AOS. Some new models coming out. Blood Bowl is getting a lot of stuff released. There are a bunch of new star players. Amazons are finally coming out. I felt like Amazons were announced like 1,000 years ago, but they're finally going to be released next week.
About a month or two, right?
Maybe it feels longer than that, but maybe my perception of time is just poor, which would not be surprising. Beyond that, I don't think there's really anything else on that side of the hobby sphere that's too crazy. They announced a couple of new books. Some of those I'm really excited for. But in the 40K sphere, things are pretty interesting right now. So
I wouldn't classify it as interesting. I'd classify it as a fucking shit show.
yeah, well, see, interesting can have many definitions. And when things are burning down around you, I still consider that interesting. So Games Workshop did something I've never seen them do before. Which is that today they released a video. It's very comical in approach, but it's basically Games Workshop releasing essentially an apology video for the new Leagues of Votann book, because apparently the Space Dwarves are just obliterating everything. Like they are just suplexing every single other 40K army into dust. And so Games Workshop has released an actual apology video explaining why the Leagues of Votann are so overpowered, and have immediately released a brand new update effective today that is making the Leagues of Votann, is trying to bring them into line to make them not completely and utterly scorch earth the tournament scene. I'm shocked. I've never ever in my life seen Games Workshop react that fast to something.
The big thing is there when the article says we're sorry, it's like, oh look, they apologized.
Yeah, like I am genuinely surprised. Like normally GW's way to handle these is that they just kind of just let it happen, and then eventually, like in the summer or the winter, they'll come out with one of those 6-month they'll come out with one of those like 6-month updates and fix it there. Which even that's way better than it used to be,
Yeah.
like the good old days when like fantasy, became kind of unplayable in various periods because they would like release a book that would just destroy everything. We were just stuck with it till the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, do you have any thoughts or anything on that? Like I have no idea what was going on with the Leagues of Votann that made it so oppressive. I don't know if you have any insight on that.
So the issue that stands with 40K, and I know people are gonna like hate me for this, is the fact is that their playtesting is shit, right? Because it's very easy to tell who are playtesters, because those people don't generally keep it that secret, and yeah, a lot of them are competitive players. So you make the army hyper competitive. What happens? It loses the fluff too. There needs to be an equal line for these types of things, because I'm sorry, this happens way too often.
Isn't there a lot of theories like about who the leakers are? Like, do we know? Has there been, because like 40K has had some insane leaks over the last few months. Like Age of Sigmar has had nothing like 40K, where like there are entire books being leaked onto the internet. Like AOS, like they might leak like some war scrolls, maybe.
Yeah.
But like we're talking like just a PDF upload of the army books, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, because rather than do it like properly, like send a printout of the army book with a massive watermark giving your name on it and everything, you know? They just send them like PDFs and stuff. So what happens? People do it for the clout, don't they?
Hmm.
It's disappointing. But this has always been a thing. We've seen so many leaks happening since. When did leaks stop becoming like the usual thing for Warhammer in general?
I would say leaks have been like, oh man, they've been pretty standard now for like a good 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
But like, but it used to just be like, hey, like here's like a really potato image quality or quality image of like some things that are coming, and like those I always felt very strongly were Games Workshop purposefully leaking them out to build hype,
yeah,
because like who has a potato level camera these days? Like
exactly.
nobody
Yeah,
owns those anymore. Like even if you take a picture with your phone, it's gonna be like you should be able to make out what's going on, and the images are
yeah,
always like very purposefully obscured. Um, but like I don't know. It's like on the more AOS fantasy side of things, we have very few leaks. And like even when we do have leaks, they usually are like they're like what the model looks like. They're not usually like rules, and it's never lore. It's literally just like pictures of some minis.
I think
Um,
it's usually the case is because we have to take into account that obviously 40k is much more popular in terms of like
yeah. Mm,
clickability.
mm,
Because you'll notice it like once a 40k leak happens, it's the same four YouTubers having a 20-minute video in the space of like 20 minutes post leak, all of them screaming into the microphone out of breath on how excited they are, right?
yeah. Well, it's like that. The leak alone like makes for lots of easy content because like
Yeah,
it's just such a like
because we,
big
we
thing.
the before the Votan box came out, I think it was about 3 weeks before the whole Votan box leaked, book leaked online.
Yeah.
The whole fucking thing in really good quality. What they did is they cut out all the lore, but it was literally just all the unit stats, all the rules, what this did, and it's like, motherfucker, really?
Yeah.
Because like I'm not saying it in a sense to be antagonistic, right? Because these guys do it for whatever fucking reason. Uh, but being part of like creator groups and so on, it hurts everyone. So
Oh yeah,
whatever
no,
they're doing
I'm
hurts everyone.
yeah, I'm very anti-leak. I don't like leaks.
It's just really stupid.
Yeah, it creates a very antagonistic relationship between
Mm.
um like everybody and the company for very little gain. And like even the wider community, you don't gain anything from leakers. Like there's
No.
literally absolutely nothing to be gained from leakers other than
Yeah.
like you just there's no actual like it's always bad. It is always a bad thing when somebody leaks for
You
like
get
just such a long list of reasons.
yeah, I mean you get hyped up for a little bit, right? And this is what happened with the Votan box. It's like, oh yeah, now I can build my list early. Fair enough. But they just got nerfed, so that your list is now redundant.
Yeah, well it's like uh when things get leaked, like it's probably gonna change. So
Mhm.
and that's the thing is like a lot of people are like, oh, here's what I'm gonna get. It's like, well, not necessarily. Like depending on how early it leaked,
Mhm.
like a lot of those things could be different.
The only
Or
thing I can appreciate is like when Saves the Darkness had the leak, right? Of the models where we could see them, like the Demon Prince, the New Chosen, stuff like that.
it was literally just like minis.
Yeah, that I can appreciate because I was looking at them as like, could they fit on 25s? This is me then deciding, am I going to buy those models? And I'm not going to use them for AOS. It's very obvious I'm not. It's
Yeah.
more to use them for fantasy because let's be honest, the old chosen models were kind of crap.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, like that, like leaking doesn't, and it's like because like that stuff they're gonna show off pretty far in advance anyway.
Mm.
And like I really, if I recall correctly, the Slaves to Darkness only leaked like from because I think they like wanted to announce it at the last big event they did. So like the Slaves to Darkness stuff I think leaked like 1 or 2 months early, but it was just minis, and it was that weird potato quality thing at the end too, because I remember it was like hard for everyone to make out what it was.
It's
Um,
definitely GW for that though.
yeah, but
Like,
in any event, yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. Leaks are bad and stuff, but yeah, looking at over at my chat, apparently there's stuff happening like man. So somebody in chat saying that the League of Votan was just like not being allowed at tournaments recently.
Yeah, they were banned in Germany. They were banned in a few tournament circuits in Europe because they were very, very strong.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's what happens with a new codex, unfortunately. Like any 40k fan knows, oh look, new codex, they're going to be horrendously broken. Which I, for one, am kind of happy about because I'm kind of interested in world eaters, and I'd love to see them a little bit disgusting. But yeah, they're just going to be like that. It's just going to be it's always the same. They don't properly playtest things, and they use the excuse. It's like it's actually written here. It's like Warhammer 40k is a big complex game with loads of factors to account for, and codices are usually written and sent off to printing a few good months ahead of publication. It's like, so why don't you do the playtesting prior to the printing?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. It's like, couldn't y'all just make like heavily watermarked PDFs or like just print off really simple like packets that are just paper with like a big watermark on it, and like you just send those off to playtesters, or maybe hire playtesters, since you're like a multi-million-pound company that could easily afford having like, I mean, what you need, like what at most like 50 to 100 people at most to thoroughly playtest every new book. Like I don't know. I think them being like, well, we didn't have time to properly, like, that's a very lazy excuse for a company as big and wealthy as they are.
Not only that, but do the rule writers not play the game? How do you write rules if you don't play the game?
Yeah.
It's a big question for me, though.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's very strange to me that they don't like, they should just have dedicated teams. And they just don't.
Yeah.
They tend to just let the community have at it, and then seem to try and like fix things in post.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like, I don't know, like especially for a tabletop company, like a video game company, I can be a little more forgiving because like designing video games is very difficult with like computers and stuff, and like everyone that's playing it has their own computer that could have its own unique weird interactions and like yada 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 yada, like all this crazy shit. It's like, you're a tabletop company. You just write text on paper and people read it and then try to like there's no there's no difficulty here in testing. It's not like you're doing something sophisticated where there's like another layer of potential issue between the exact thing you're wanting to put into people's hands and them utilizing it. It doesn't require special tools. You need a ruler and dice.
Mm-hmm. It's just odd. It is really, really odd. But this is something that they've been doing for what, 40 years now?
30. Oh yeah. It has been about 40 years.
And it's just, the problem is, and this is something that I don't think Games Workshop realizes. It's like they've gone too stagnant on that type of stuff, and this is why a lot of other systems are generally better with rules. Like, we feel more attached to Warhammer for the reason is like it's nostalgic for us and stuff, right? But like some other systems do have better rules because it's just better balanced. There is definitely a lot of bloat when it comes to 40k. That's understandable. It's a massive universe with loads of factions here and there and everywhere. But I want to go to a tournament where everything is absolutely broken. Especially since, did you see the statistics they gave out for Kill Team, which was amazing?
Yeah, it was almost like split down the middle. Like it looked very, very solid. If those are if like those are the legit winnings, that's admirable.
Yeah, that's like, it's almost everything. Funny enough, the actual faction that devotes itself to special operations is the one that is the worst. It's the Phobos Marines. But in general, 50%, that's amazing. I wish we could have that with every system.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things where like, I think like one of the things that I've been really enjoying with AOS, which AOS is not at like everyone being good 50%. There are some that are a little too strong still, and there are notably some that are too weak in this edition. But like they've been doing really, really well with, like, especially in 3rd edition, with keeping a lot of the rule books simpler. Like I know for Night Haunt, especially like my army, they're very, very good now. But they're not broken. They're just like, they're pretty solid. and but they simplified a lot of things. And like it seems like third edition, something they've been doing in AOS is like first edition was way too simple, and then second edition decided to make things more complex. But in some places it went a little too far. Like the Lumineth Realmlord book is rather infamous for having way too complicated of rules. Where like you have to have like you basically have to like carry around like a little thing of index cards during your turn if you're playing as Lumineth to remember everything you're supposed to do.
I'd lose my shit. I would lose my shit.
Yeah, and so like, you know, the big hope is that for third edition they're gonna simplify their rules to make it. And the stupid thing is that in a case like Lumineth, like you have like so many rules you have to worry about, yet at the same time the vast majority of the book is absolute garbage. But like there's a very specific aspect of the book that is like insanely strong. So it basically pigeonholed you into only playing a single aspect of the army while also having to juggle a just staggering number of abilities and rules. So it's like you need to simplify that and also spread out the goodies. But like overall, I know 40k competitive wise is apparently in a pretty bad spot at the moment. Like overall, which is you know, that seems to be kind of the prevailing theory of why we're going to be going to 10th edition so quickly. Is that they really want to hit the big, because it sounds like a lot of the problems are with the core rules, not necessarily the individual books as much. So you know, hopefully going into 10th, they'll be able to get, because like I want 40k to have fun games. You know, something I've seen like Valrak talk a lot about is that like he basically just plays like very fluffy, as far as like they don't really worry about a lot of the competitive rules, and they like ignore a lot of the like quote unquote required aspects of match play, because it just makes the game way too complicated and not fun. So which, you know, to me that's telling. Like if somebody is like, hey, let's just have a good time with this game, so let's ignore a large set of the rules, that's not a great sign.
Yeah, it's an odd thing. Thing is, like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, 10th next year, 10th next year. And you know what I'm thinking about? It's like, oh yeah, 10th next year, Space Marines will be broken again. Yay! Every tournament. I went to 2 tournaments at the start of 9th, right? And like 95% of the players were Space Marine. It's like, fuck my life, bro, man. Like, give me something else to play with. You know, let me see orcs. Let me see other cool shit, because it's boring seeing the same faction all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of the ultimate hat trick that GW really seems to struggle with, is that the goal should be when a new edition comes out that the starting armies are balanced, not that the starting army is so dominant that it's just kicking the crap out of everybody else. Like that's
problem is the strongest faction is the one that sells the most.
Yeah. Well, and it's terrible, because like that always produces a vicious cycle. Like I know there are people out there who will go, well, of course the strongest faction is going to be the one that sells the most, because that's the one that sells the most, therefore they want it to be good. And it's like, no, see, that's stupid logic though. If like a smart business logic would dictate that you want everything to be balanced, because then everything is viable and everything can sell well. If the most popular army is the strongest, then that means people are going to only purchase the most popular thing, and you're not diversifying your ranges. Also, it, like from a business standpoint, it's extra stupid because the vast majority of your purchase base already owns a massive amount of that particular thing, so they're not going to buy as much. That was kind of one of the things that killed fantasy towards the end, was that fantasy suffered from a big issue of that they weren't incentivizing players to buy things they didn't already have. And so like stuff would release and it's like, well, I'm not gonna buy any of this, because like you know, they're not re-releasing models that I already own but making them like look a lot better. So I'm like, oh man, I really want to like get updated scopes for these. They're also not like incentivizing balance between the armies. That way I can feel motivated to like play different armies to experiment or whatever. Like you know, if Space Marines are so god tier and they just keep making them god tier and keep just adding them absurdly, like that's, you know, that's not great. Like you want Space Marines to be balanced like everybody else, so that maybe some Space Marine players will go, you know what, I am thinking about playing Chaos, or I am thinking about playing Eldar or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Just some clarification to some people, because I'm seeing it in my chat. It's not the fact because Space Marines are at a worst tier now, right? But the issue is the new book comes out, they're god tier, right? And then they get nerfed, and then this is what happens with every faction. A faction comes in, they're overpowered, so people will buy more. This is a tactic that Games Workshop do, and then they get nerfed about a month later just to push those sales more. It's like, well, just release a balance setting, and then people will buy more anyway.
Yeah, we're not saying that they should just focus on nerfing Space Marines and then Space Marines won't be so popular. That's not what we're saying, because Space Marines are just the most popular faction. That's just kind of a fact of life. What we're saying is that they shouldn't be using the strategy of new book comes out, therefore that book is very, very strong, and then it like tries to maybe balance, because it really hurts the life of the game. And it's really bad for like the competitive scene in particular. Like their goal should be to aim for competitive but balanced books, not broken as fuck books.
Yeah. I mean, you remember Dark Elves in 8th edition? Like they were just horrendous. The Thane list with the Dark Riders was just insane. You could basically just fake out everyone constantly. Like that was a horrible book. Or what was it, 7th edition with the Dwarves, which needed a second army book in that same edition, because let's just fuck them up completely.
There was a lot of like, man, I don't even know where to start when talking about fantasy. I mean, the most legacy moment will always be the Demons of 7th edition. Like they were like the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, as far as fantasy is concerned. But
it's just insane.
Like that that was when the Fire Nation attacked and everything changed. But but yeah, like 8th edition had a lot of really horrible issues that came up, particularly like, man, 8th edition dwarfs and 8th edition ogres were like, oh my god, it was nightmarish.
I tell you what, ogres, I really did like them in 8th. I was like, oh, this is an interesting faction, because it was cheap to get into, right?
Yeah.
And keep in mind that I played Skaven a lot, so it was just nice.
Honest, the ogre army book was not a big deal. It was the way the ogre army book interacted with the core rule book, with the having a single model unit that costs like what, 32 points, whatever, or 20 something points for like a single saber tusk. And then they would just abuse the double flea system. And it was oh my god, it was awful. Like ogres were just like one of the most painful armies to fight against, because they had really powerful shooting and they could abuse double flea. And there wasn't a lot of overlap in the game for armies that could do both really, really well.
I remember testing out a lead belcher list versus high elves to see who had the best shots, and it was the fucking lead belchers.
Oh yeah, lead belchers were amazing. But like, and and it was just, there was a lot of like really bad decisions made in 7th and 8th edition. But it was interesting, because 7th edition, at least in my opinion, the problem wasn't the core rule book, it was the army books. And then in 8th edition, it flipped. The core rule book was the problem. The army books in general were honestly pretty fine. It wasn't Skaven's fault that the core rule book made them into an entire unbreakable army. It wasn't, the ogre's fault that they were able to be extremely oppressive in shooting and positioning because of the double flea system from the core rulebook. And that was just the way 8th edition was. Whereas in 7th edition, it was the demons book fault, not the core rules, that the demons were able to have like just obscenely powerful troops with a 5-up ward save that there was no way around. And then like a lot of them, Nurgle units could also have a 4-up regen save on top of that. And their points are like insanely cheap. And then like the books had to start doing all these crazy ass hat tricks to try and keep up with the demons. So like they released the high elves and they were like, look, this entire army has always strike first. And everyone was like, I'm sorry, what? They have what now? Magic was like super nasty in 7th edition and got way out of control. where you had like vampire counts playing and Zinch playing with armies that would have like 20 plus power dice and could just cast infinite spells. There was, but anyway, that was a huge tangent. I don't even remember what the actual point was. But the point is that Games Workshop, they have a very rough history with knowing how to write good rules.
Yeah.
But like I would say that between modern day Kill Team, modern day Age of Sigmar, like they show that they can write good rules. They just got to hold themselves to a good standard.
I have faith for 10th. As much as I've bitched, I do have faith because Wade is now the lead writer for 10th. Well, for Warhammer 40k in general. So, like, it's always cool when you see someone with passion take on a lead position, because that means it's definitely going to be better than it is now, right?
I hope so. Like, I wanted to get into 40k. I started to get into 40k in 8th edition. Like, I was actually playing games, and I actually bought like a whole bunch of NIDs that are sitting in my closet. But then like I kind of got distracted with some other stuff, and by the time 9th edition hit, I was like, nope. Like, there's just way too much garbage going on. I just no thank you. No thank you.
Yeah. There is another little bit of news that we should discuss, even though it's more 40k related though.
Well, yeah, but this is just the us show. It's not even specifically a Warhammer show. Like, we can talk about whatever the fuck we want. The people just have to suffer through it. Like, they're the ones choosing to be here. I don't care.
No, but this actually should be good hype for us. Next week is Warhammer Day.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it like on stream or if I'm just gonna go watch another 40k channel. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's all 40k as we're aware. However, 35 years, big thing. Well done to 40k for lasting that long. You had to kill another system for it, but okay. Next year,
you have to cannibalize your older brother, but well, I guess we made it, so who cares?
Yeah, but next year, 40 years of fantasy, huh?
I know, it would be the perfect time for him the phoenix to rise from the ashes.
Yeah, to take us back. We can sing Country Roads, It's like I feel like it's going to be next year.
It has to.
If it's the 40th anniversary, and no offense to Age of Sigmar fans, but if it's the 40th anniversary and they do something that's only Age of Sigmar, I will fucking lose my fucking mind.
That wouldn't make sense. Like, why would you celebrate 40 years of fantasy with an AOS release? That just wouldn't make any sense.
This is Games Workshop, though. Remember
like,
that.
what are they going to celebrate 35 years of 40k by releasing nothing but Horus Heresy? Like, could you imagine how salty everyone would be?
Knowing GW,
Space Marine fans would be like, great, and everyone else would be like, what the fuck? We're here too. Where's our party favors? Anyway,
I feel like it's going to be our time because it got announced 2019.
Either yes. It was before the pandemic. It was before the pandemic. So I think it was 2019.
80 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like it's time. I feel like there's enough time for them to write. And we already know, like, some of the people who are, like, writing it, that done the interviews and shit, right? These guys are fast fucking writers, man. And these guys know Warhammer Fantasy better than anyone that they could have that is new GW. These people are old school. I mean, Andy Hoare and everything.
They literally have, like, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse of the good old days still there.
Exactly. So it's like, just take us back, give us a book like 6th edition, right? And we'll all be fucking happy, and we'll spend a shit ton of money. I will sell a kidney, and I will make sure that the stock is gone in a day. One day, it's all gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be it'll be interesting to see. But looking at Warhammer Day, is there anything you're hoping to see get announced or anything? Like, I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of World Eater stuff. Because that's the next big book for y'all, right?
Yeah, I think World Eaters was confirmed for December or something.
Yeah, I know it's this winter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping, you know what I really want to see? Like, other than new stuff, I want to see them bring back a lot of classic minis on, like, a made-to-order basis, like they've been doing now, but, like, on a really big scale. Just like, fuck it, man, let's bring back loads of old-school classics just for, like, a celebration for, like, a month or two to get people enough time to be able to buy it. You know, because that stuff is really, really cool. And like they've gotten the artwork like old school art. Like make available loads of old school posters and it's
Yeah,
just
they've been
really
doing pretty
old
good
stuff.
on that. Like as far as like Games Workshop, if you go to like their store that they don't advertise that much, I mean it's like they have like tons of t-shirts and posters and stuff that have like really old artwork.
Yeah,
Like they
the
basically
half-assed.
they've turned a lot of like they've literally turned a lot of the old army books covers and a lot of the White Dwarf covers into like shirts and stuff, which some of those I find really funny because it feels like they put zero effort into it because they literally like take the White Dwarf cover with all the text and everything and they're like, look, it's a shirt now. It's like, come on guys, couldn't you just remove the text so it's just the artwork? But
They did it for the 6th edition Army Books of Fantasy, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool, but it looks like they just dropped the JPEG on it.
yeah,
And they're
that's all.
selling it at a premium too.
Yeah, that's literally all they did. They're
Hmm.
like, well, we own this garbage, we might as well monetize it since we own it. Or maybe they're pulling a Disney and being like, we have to do something with it, or else we can't. Like, we can't hold on to the license. But yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to Warhammer World, or Warhammer Day, just because like you never know, there might be something cool that comes out. I'll have to ask my community if they want me to stream it or not. Because
It'll
like,
probably be
because for me it's gonna be like, oh, that looks cool, I guess. I'm curious. Like I don't know, like I think the biggest thing they could announce, like they've already shown off Angron. So like I don't know what could be their big thing. Like maybe if they announce 10th edition, that could be pretty big.
Fulgrim.
Yeah, I feel like they're not gonna do Fulgrim until 10th, or because
Just
like
give me the fucking Emperor's Children. I've been waiting.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to wait till next edition for that. But like
Well, they
maybe
showed off a mini, didn't they? It's a Black Templar.
oh they're doing the more Black Templars. Didn't they
No,
just
it's
get
just
a bunch
one
of
classic mini.
oh it's a classic mini? Okay, yeah, they could announce
Well,
a
no,
new
it's a new
Primarch.
mini, but like redesigned to be a Primaris.
Okay. Yeah, they could announce a new Primarch. I know Valrek's going on and on and on about a new Primarch coming with 10th or whatever. Like the Lion or one of those guys.
There were rumors going around, and I'm not too sure how good these rumors are, but about Sanguinius returning in some way, shape, or form, which is bizarre to me because like just let him die. Well, let him stay dead.
Games Workshop letting anything stay dead? Like, what do you? They are like the necromancer of companies.
It's just really odd. Mind you, the rumors say it's going to be Blood Angels versus Nids, I think. Which would be kind of cool, because Nids kind of do need a bit of a model update. And the last stuff that we did get for a big model update was the Necrons, and that was beautiful.
Yeah, I honestly that's something I wish Games Workshop would invest more time in is refreshing older minis. Because like that's something there's kind of been a lot of bitching about like for like especially for like AOS is that AOS has a lot of minis in it, but because a lot of them are old fantasy minis, they're so haggard now. Like just there's just the Lizardman and the Skaven in the corner just like like put me out of my misery. Give me new minis. Like I don't need new minis. I need my same units updated, please.
Yeah.
Like I need new Saurus, I need new Croxgors, I need new Saurus Cavalry, I need new Salamanders and Razordons. And oh god, Skaven. Like you ever walk into like see an army, you see an excited Skaven player, and you see like this badass Vermin Lord, and then you just look over and you see like Plague Monks and Clan Rats, and you're like, ooh, oh, those look pretty rough.
The Clan Rats did age well because they were from the Island of Blood set. So they were actually quite good.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
like
the old monkey Clan Rats.
where's my damn Island of Blood Rat Ogres? Like they still have the old ones that are ugly.
The Island of Blood Rat Ogres, the fucking weapons teams too, which were just amazing. The characters, it's like, why didn't you use them? They were just generic warlords.
Yeah,
It's so stupid.
Like, yeah, it's just like a lot of those because like those are some of the most exciting releases for me. Is like it's like they're doing Slaves to Darkness, and it's like, oh look, there's like a new guy. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then they're like, look at Chosen. I'm like, oh like those are cool. I feel that I'm getting more excited about when old minis update as opposed to like totally brand new stuff when it's applicable. You know, obviously if I'm talking about like Fire Slayers or Character on Overlords, I want to see more new things to just expand those ranges. But like I fucking loved the vampire count of the new vampires, because we got so many old models updated where, you know, we got new zombies, we got new fellbats, we got new bat swarms, we got new skeletons. Speaking of skeletons, did you see those new underworld skeletons?
Yeah, they look good. I'm more interested in the Nullwood warband. I'll be very honest about that, because I'm building up. I'm finishing up all my my backlog, right?
Mm.
And one thing I wanted to do is have
You're finishing your beastmen.
The beastmen are almost done. They'll be done by the end of October, literally. But like one thing I wanted to see is like, because I've got 6 armies of Warriors of Chaos, right? One undivided, one for all the 4 Chaos gods, and one for one that I'm working on, which is like Malal, because I mean every classic player kind of does a Malal paint scheme at one point. But one thing I want to do is focus on a Marauder style army for a pseudo Norska, and the Gnarlwood ones that have just been announced. Like, it looks like a shaman, right? Or like a nice big chaos lord and shit like that.
Oh yeah,
the guy with
incredible.
the big hat. Yeah, I was like, fuck it, man. I'm going to use this, because like a lot of the minis that come out for freaking Underworlds are always like top of the fucking line, man.
Yeah, well, they're able to put so much character into those minis, and like they just like they're very unique and are just absolutely gorgeous. Like, I've yet to see a single underworld warband that has not been like, damn, those are good looking. And the thing that I find so clever about them is that not only are all the models unique and gorgeous, but they also represent like typically pretty run-of-the-mill soldiers, essentially. So like there's one character, and then like every guy tends to be like a different unit type. So it just gives you like a really nice group to sub for a lot of different things. Where it's like, yeah, they just look really good. You know, it's like when they released the Seraphon one, it's like, look, here's a brand, essentially like you buy like a $20 box and you get like, or maybe like a $30 box, and you get like a skink priest, a Saurus Old Blood, a brand new chameleon skink mini, and then 3 other skinks, one of which could make like a perfect skink chief. Like, it's the value, even if you're not ever going to play Underworlds in your life, the value is just absurd. It's so good.
The Skaven one, the Spikeclaw one, I use for Mordheim. The Nurgle one, I use the female caster that's got the Hunchback as a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle. And the guy with the spear, I've cut off the spear and put a banner, and he's my banner bearer. I was like, fuck it, man, they look fucking great.
Oh god, yeah, just thinking about using like almost any of them in Mordheim, they're like perfect. Yeah, that or the Warcry boxes too. Like that's probably one of the reasons I'm most hoping desperately we get Mordheim back, is like the way how good they make minis now. The Mordheim warbands would be, oh my god, they'd be gorgeous.
I buy the terrain because I've been working on a 4x4 board for Mordheim to play at home for battle reports and stuff in the future. And like the Gnarlwood terrain, gorgeous, like top tier, absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, Warcry definitely has its spiritual roots so dug into Mordheim that it's not even funny.
Yeah, it's just so good. I'm honestly so happy that terrain has been so improved. I mean, gone are the days where we used to get those boxes, remember, with the cardboard cutouts?
Yeah, yeah, I know. They'd sell like the castle. Yeah, it was literally just like pieces of cardboard you would just slot together. It would hold up your minis, but that's about all it would do. And it was very angular. Yeah, you're working with right angles, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get. Yeah, because they had that castle set, and it was 2 small walls and 1 big wall with 2 towers, and that was your siege setup.
Wasn't that the styrofoam kit too? The old school styrofoam kit.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I remember doing that. I remember building my own table at home and making my own terrain. You'd have to go out and buy all that foam and like
Yeah.
cut it with like a hot knife and all this other crap. It was a pain in the butt. But I don't miss that. I'm glad that like I could literally just buy all my terrain as pre-made plastic minis that I just have to paint and I'm done.
Yeah.
Now that's so much
cool.
easier. Like if you want to be one of those people that creates your own terrain, hey, you're awesome. Like you're literally better than any of us, but I'm glad we live in the age of like you could buy a lot of pre-made boxes from GW or a lot of different places, and of course 3D printing just opened up the world like crazy.
Yeah. I'm too lazy to make my own shit up, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Like I've only got so much like attention span / intelligence and time on this earth, and I don't want to spend it on original ideas. I don't have time. There's already so many billions of people that came before me. I'm gonna let them do the lifting where they can.
Exactly.
But in any event, all right, so I think we've gone over 40K. We've talked a little bit about Total War. I mean, things for Total War seem to be going well right now. Obviously, we've got patch 2.2 coming up next month, which I don't think we have 100% confirmation of everything that's in it. Hopefully, we'll be getting another round of Regiments of Renown for all the Game 3 factions. So that'll be really nice. And then just, a lot of fixes. I don't know if I think they actually talked a little. I'm gonna double check this. I know they talked just a tiny bit about it.
Yeah, they did in the blog for
okay. Oh yeah, so yeah, Regiments of Renown 3 is gonna come out next month. And they say the full release notes are gonna come out on the 18th of October. So we got about 2.5, 3 weeks ish, or probably like around 3 weeks for the full release notes, and then it'll probably come out like the week after that. There's going to be a new in-game crisis, which seems to be Skaven, seeing as they say yes on it. So so the Skaven in-game crisis split ranked queue for land and domination battle, so that's really good because it's super dumb the way it works right now. Regiments Around 3 AI improvements should be nice. So they're gonna have they're trying better AI in battle, better AI for vassals and allies, more aggressive AI, should scale better with difficulty, some cool stuff there. Settlement battles are going to be changed a bit. Also, I think they're going to be reducing the number of them you should encounter in a campaign. And the intern crash fix will be implemented fully to that way people don't have to deal with the rollback branches.
So stand with settlement battles being fine. They just need to fix the just stop the fucking building. Just take away the mini game.
No,
take
I
away
like the
capture
building.
points.
I like those. Like, you don't have to like them. I like them.
I'm saying build at the start like a normal fucking campaign would, like an actual realistic battle. And then when the battle starts, you can't build anymore. Because it makes sense. Because how are you going to have some random person building up a fucking tower whilst all hell's breaking loose and two bloodthirsters are just basically butt fucking their way through the actual village?
Magic. I think my counter argument would be I think it would be fair to have towers built at the beginning. But like I do like being able to set up like barricades and stuff as the battle is going. Like to me, you could realistically set up barricades and all that kind of crap in the midst of a battle.
Yeah, if you've got enough manpower there. It's just it's weird that because the capture point system I don't like either. It's strange. Like I'm sorry, I want to fight the battle. I don't want to lose morale just because I lost a little bit of a town, because it happens in all these different things when you're looking through history. Sometimes you secede territory to then take it back when you push back.
Personally, I very, very much like the capture points as far as like it gives me like defensible areas to focus on that like the enemy has to come to me. Because it's like, all right, this is where we're going to plant our flag and we're going to hold this. That being said, like I do think, and something I was talking about with Anticity on stream yesterday is I do think sieges overall still need quite a few, like just a lot of tweaks as far as, like, I think they need to offer more incentives to focus around various capture points beyond them just being a capture point. Like, if I'm defending around a capture point, I should have like probably some minor bonuses that are local to only that spot to represent like the soldiers there being like, this is where we have to hold and like all this kind of stuff. Because like right now, like when you're playing as the aggressor, like if you're playing as the aggressor, you want all those capture points because you're gonna win, and you're also shutting down the enemy as you go through the city. Whereas I think for the defenders, there's not as big of a focus on it, because it's like the only thing that matters is making sure you at least still have one more. And like, yeah, you get more supplies for the more you have, but like, I don't know, I feel like it would be much more exciting if it's like whoever controls the capture point gets small local bonuses. Like even if you're the attacker and you take a capture point and you're holding it at that point and the defender tries to take it back, well, you've managed to turn that little area into a little forward base for your guys, so you should be a little better at holding. It just there's things they could do to make things more exciting. Like right now, it's not as dynamic as I would like it to be. It kind of feels like you're caught between. I think the best way to explain it is when I go into a siege, my brain is like, all right, either I am purely going to focus on going for capture points, or I'm purely going to focus on slaughtering the enemy. I really don't. I don't feel like it's a dynamic system where it's like, okay, I'm going to move through the city and kind of do as much as I can on both of those fronts. It's I'm either going to go for one objective or the other, and they really don't feel that related to each other.
Yeah, you know what I would really love, and I know it's a bit unrealistic to ask for, but more options before starting your campaign. One thing, a game I play a lot is Crusader Kings 3, right? And when before you start your campaign, you've got all these options about if these invasions happen, if this happens, if that happens or not. So imagine if we had those abilities, like, because we're already getting a little bit with the whole like endgame crisis stuff that you can just turn it off or choose when it starts. But imagine siege battles, but turn off tower building and stuff like that. It would just give options for everyone.
I'd be fine with that. I think that'd be
it
great.
Would be great. Honestly, it would just be so cool to have options in general. I'm not saying make it as like big CK3 where there's just so much, but it would just be great if everyone had a little bit, just for the stuff that some people are very much in favor for, some people aren't. Find a middle ground to put a toggle in.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. I mean, the more player agency you have, the better, generally speaking.
Yeah.
I don't really know of any circumstances where like putting information or like optional stuff in front of the player is a bad thing. But all right. I think that is pretty much everything as far as all of that goes. So are you ready to talk about or look at all the painted stuff people have sent in?
Yeah, there's
there's
scrolled
a lot.
down. There's a lot, yeah.
We haven't done it in a hot minute, and people have been kind of continuously throwing things to us. So let's get started.
Make sure to refresh.
Yeah, make sure to refresh and make sure you have it on latest. All right, so first up, we have
so cool.
Oh my gosh, we have Elodie's Incarnate of Beasts, the Bloody Hidesman.
So fucking cool.
I love this mini, and it looks like he won a painting competition with it because my god, that paint job is gorgeous.
Yes, dude, man. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I want these so bad, the Elemental Incarnates. I want them so bad for Araby as like their big monsters in Total Warhammer. Like, because they just like the idea of gens being Elemental Incarnates to me is just like it's a perfect fit, or at least like greater gens. You know what I mean?
We did get a hint of it that the sand elementals and the wind elementals are actually Ifrits, aren't they?
So in the most something like that. In the most recent, not the most recent. Actually, no, yeah, the most recent in the Sea of Claws book. They actually, and the Up in Arms for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, they've actually been talking a lot about Araby and their various spirits. And basically, they have updated the lore that the Jinn are they are lesser elemental incarnates. So they are elemental incarnates, but they're not like the big titanic ones. They're smaller ones that seem like they would be more like a unit of like monstrous infantry. But they have been noting that there are also like more powerful spirits that exist in like Araby and stuff. And like this is obviously the elemental incarnate of the lore of beasts. But in the Sea of Claws, we actually got a brand new elemental incarnate. We got the elemental incarnate of life, which is actually the water elemental from Dreadfleet. That's part of the Araby ship. Which is perfect. Like, oh, great, awesome, cool. More of that, please. And we've gotten
people say that we're not going to get Araby in the future.
Dude, I feel pretty confident Araby will happen. I just don't know how it's going to happen, but I feel confident it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, they wouldn't update lore if there was no reason for it. Same thing as like why they have the icon. They had their own unique icon in Old World when we saw that fucking update for the Border Princess. It's like, please tell me again why it's not happening if they have a unique icon, right? Yeah. Come on.
But anyway, getting back on topic, so we're not here for eternity. Elodie, your model is absolutely gorgeous. It looks incredible. Also, that unique base, god damn. That is a beautiful base. Like, seeing like the swamp effect, I wish I could base that well. Like, not only is the paint job beautiful, but like that's like this guy doesn't come with a fancy base, so this looks really, really nice.
Yeah, it's honestly one of the best looking miniatures from the Forge World range.
Yes, and he's got a decapitated Stormcast helmet beneath him, which is good because fuck Stormcast. Anyway, moving on. Rowan the Accused sending in two. Just oh my god.
Nice.
Wow, these are, speaking of basing,
he's been putting updates on my Discord a lot. Like, he's been going full ham with this army. Like, it's a pretty beefy knight army, man.
Yeah, I really like these minis. The Chaos Knights with like the skulls. Like they look really cool. That having that little bit of like non-mechanical parts makes me really like them.
Yeah. And in general, because like just the basing kind of makes it for me, because I've seen a lot of the bases that are done for knights are usually just like destroyed ground or ruins. So actually having like like kind of like a jungle theme to it is really nice. It's
jungle
really,
theme
really
bases
pretty.
are gorgeous. They're a pain in the ass, but they're gorgeous.
I really like that.
It looks fantastic. Let's see. So Jack's sending in see, you click on this and it's his
this is our friend Kirioth. This is our friend Kirioth, man. He's he's got a different name there. But yeah, he does all these absolutely batshit insane conversions. I fucking love it, man.
So this is called the Dreamer, and it looks like it's a looks like it's a combination of like the Gorgon / Cygor body, the Chaos, maybe the Chaos War Shrine, and I don't even know what all these bits are from.
He was in my chat before. I'm not sure if he's still here, because it's just every time, like I feel like a worse kit basher anytime he posts something. Because I'm like, holy crap, man! I wish I was that good.
Nightmarish looking.
Yeah, I absolutely love his conversions, man. They're just so fucking cool.
Yeah, the bladed legs. I don't know what is so uncomfortable looking about those, but like, ugh. I really like how it's like he also made it where like the blade is piercing through the stone that like it stepped into. I feel like totally not the point of this creature, but I feel like because its blades are so powerful, they're actually cutting into stuff. There would be like a surprisingly high chance of this thing getting stuck, like stepping into something, and he just gets like lodged and it just can't get out. Yeah. Oh, so okay, it's definitely the Gorgon body. That's 100%. It also looks like, I think the horns and like the place where the head should be, but there is no head. I think that's from the one of the ogre monster kits.
I think so. Yeah.
I want to say it's like the Thunder Tusk or something. But I think it's like turned upside down. I think that's what may be throwing me off.
Yeah.
And like, oh, look at that. There's like something. There are hands. There's something like coming out from inside of it. Ugh. It's like there's another big monster inside of its stomach. Man, this thing is nasty looking, like in a good way. Ugh.
It's so cool.
Good nightmarish creature. Well done. Next up, we've got Ernesto working on a Chaos Knight and a Chapter Master Volrock diorama.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks
That
like
is
you're making
honestly super
some.
cool.
Yeah, it looks like making good progress, and he's already got like a nice dynamic pose going with some chaos dude getting his ass kicked.
He's been working on because you've been working. He's in my chat right now. You've been working on a new Chaos Army, haven't you? That's pretty cool, honestly. I love the Valrak mini.
Yeah, Valrak. I always love the Valrak mini cracks me up. Then we've got so you say this is from Naldor in your Discord. We got some Seekers of Slanesh.
Not only that, but we have these are Juan Diaz demonettes.
Yeah,
Classic.
they look I really like these sculpts. Good color scheme. I like the Steeds of Slanesh on this a lot. The basing looks fantastic too. Like really well done job on the snow and stuff in the basing. Looks very natural.
I miss Juan Diaz, man. I get it. They were hypersexualized and stuff. I mean, it was very obvious when he did his Dark Elves too. But like for a race or even creatures or demons, which are supposed to be hypersexualized, I think it kind of fits. Plus, I don't know, the Seekers just look nicer.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is it's almost weird for me seeing demonettes with like weapons. I've gotten so used to the crab claws.
Yeah.
These are more like I feel like these older minis were I think they were a better representation of like what your opponent would see of like these beautiful lightsome creatures coming at you that are embodiments of like lust and all this stuff. I think like the modern minis I think are a better interpretation of what they actually look like what their true form is. Which it's just different interpretations, but I mean these minis are fantastic. They're a classic idea.
Getting a squad of 5 of these through like eBay and stuff is usually around £100 nowadays because they're so rare now.
Yeah, which is crazy because I'm sure there's like a ton of people who aren't in the hobby anymore that if they went digging around, they could probably find their stuff, find a bunch of old minis, in their collections that would sell for like, you probably would like some people would be so desperate for a lot of these old minis, you wouldn't even have to strip them or anything. Just make sure you have all the pieces, and you could make bank. Putting them on eBay. Like I need to sell all my old high elves. I have a shitload of like 5th and 6th edition high elves I need to sell. But anyway, next up from
he got those for €60. Fucking good deal, man. Jeez, well done.
Yeah, that is a good deal. Next up we've got Commissar Azura coming in with a absolutely amazing Greater Demon of Slanesh kit bash. Like man, so it's the Void Dragon combined with these Sinessa and Dexessa model from AOS. And my lord, this is a really impressive kit bash that looks really good. Like that looks like a really fun interpretation of a terrifying Slanesh demon showing up on the battlefield.
Freaking awesome. Anything Slanesh gets like a 10 from me.
Yeah, the Void Dragon parts are very well implemented into the mini. Like it literally looks like a natural sculpt.
Yeah, it looks honestly really good. Jeez, that's fuck.
Yeah, Azura did a wonderful job on this.
That's literally like I can only imagine how much time you have to spend on a kit bash like this to make it look so fluid,
Oh yeah, so she this is the avatar of Kumnisaya. That's funny. I'm sure there's gonna be angry Mechanicus typing in chat. But yeah, great looking mini. Great paint job, great sculpt job, looks awesome. Next up, we got Ray coming in with a classic. What is that, a Night Lord?
Yeah, man, nice. I love Night Lord helmets. They're just so over the fucking top.
That dude's helmet wings are big enough. I would not even be that surprised if his entire mini could fly, just flapping his goofy ass head helmet.
Oh, it's so cool. I love every time I see classic stuff. It just really it makes me just like feel old and nostalgic, man.
It just
Oh,
makes me
so
feel
cool.
old. I don't have any emotional attachment to the old stuff. It just makes me feel old.
See, I love that he's done with because a lot of people don't paint the Night Lords like this because they're supposed to have the you see the little like lightning marks on them because it's so difficult to actually paint. So it's just nice to see it on them too. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a very nice paint job, and like he
Yeah.
did a really good man. The it's a little hard to see, but like the color blending on the helmet between like the blue, like where the actual muscle is on the little wings compared to the oh god, whatever they call it, the membrane, is
Yeah,
like really nice. Looks very nice.
that's awesome.
Looks great. Next up, Champion of Corn sending in some flesh hounds and a skull cannon,
Ooh,
which
nice.
all look very good. Got some really nice skull cannon. Has got a really nice. Did a really good job on the metallics. Like there's kind of a nice almost like fadedness to the metallics that looks really nice.
Yeah, no, it is really nice. I love the Skull Cannon mini has aged really well. In all fairness, like
That
the
looks
cannon
great.
itself, not the bloodletters.
Yeah. I would these are coming along very nicely.
Mm.
Really excited to see do some cool stuff with the base, like and get some really nice I don't know what kind of terrain your army like you envision your army fighting on, but something like that would really add, I think, help the reds pop out a lot more. But it looks like it's coming along really great, dude.
New, well, they're not really new nowadays, but the Flesh Hounds, they're just such an improvement over the old minis.
Oh yeah, I really like them.
Yeah, fucking cool.
Next up, Neratio sending in some orc boys on ice bases, and I can't see them. I don't see any minis here.
I see
Like,
them.
do you? How can you see them? They're wearing purple.
Uh,
They're invisible. uh, sorry, that was dumb. Anyway,
there you go. Yeah.
they look. I love them though. They look super good. They look
I really like
super
the
good.
skin tone. Wow, that is really nice. The orc skin tone, that is a really nice green.
Yeah, it pops really nicely, and whatever ink or something he used came out really clean, like settled into the recesses really nicely. And like the fangs, he did such a good, I cannot stop looking at the eyes and the teeth or the mouths. Like the paint job is so clean. If I had tried to do that, there would be problems.
This kind of just looks like when you would buy like toys from Toys R Us, you know, the ones that already just came
Yeah, I
painted
know they
anyway.
look pre-painted. They're like
Yeah,
really clean paint job, and goddamn,
that
those
is
faces
fucking
look
awesome.
so nice.
Yeah, it's really. I love the green. I can't stop looking at the green. It's just so nice. It's brighter than what I would do my orc skin, but like it's so much better.
Yeah, it has a very nice fleshy tone to it.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly
what's,
that.
yeah, like it looks very much like flesh. Um, it's looking at the colors. I feel like he used I think the purples give away that he was using what do you call it, the newer paint type.
Contrast.
Yeah. These are definitely contrast paints. Because you could see it in like the leather and the purple, because it doesn't come out quite as smoothly, but like the one he used for the skin and the teeth and the like the eyes and the tongue and stuff, like those colors and I think that's what I've kind of heard about contrast paints, is that like when it comes to clothing and stuff, it's not quite as strong, but like for like natural parts like bone, skin, like flesh, tongues, muscle, like it looks incredible.
Yeah, it does. It helps a lot. The contrast range has been really good for fleshy stuff.
Yeah,
That's
damn,
so cool.
absolutely beautiful though. Horatio, absolutely beautiful. Oh my God, Phoenix, we've got for the lady. We got a Bretonnian
Ooh,
knight.
look at him. That is fucking cool. What a great paint job.
Yeah, this mad lad chose to go black, white, and a really pretty blue.
That's really, really nice.
And man, look how clean those like hand-painted lines down the horse are. Like,
not only that, but the white lines on black. Holy crap.
White lines. Dude, look at the symbols at the bottom of the horse's dress.
Yeah, geez.
Like, what? That looks so good. Oh my, and the base, look, what the, how did those leaves? I'm assuming he bought like actual leaves, because I know there's like a hole puncher thing that gives you really, really tiny natural looking leaves that you could just use on actual leaves. Because if someone said they painted those leaves, I would have to kill them, because clearly they're the Antichrist to be able to accomplish that level of paint. But so if
all I'm thinking is, what type of sadist does a white and black paint scheme for a Bretonnian knight? Like, it's amazing, but that must have taken a massive amount of time. Holy crap.
What kind of crazy bastard hand paints a black emblem on a white field multiple times and does it on a flowing like dress on the horse, whatever you call these things the horses wear? Like, if you look at the last image, you can even see how carefully he painted it on all of the angles so that it looks like perfectly, like, I feel like I could reach out and grab it and stretch it out and I would like have the design. Like, fuck this guy.
Way too much effort for me.
Fuck this guy. This is way too good.
It's like, it's insane. I wouldn't put that much level of detail on a Bretonnian because I know how quickly they die.
Oh, Phoenix is in chat. Yeah, fuck you, Phoenix. Get out of my chat.
That's honestly just really impressive. The blue is really nice too. Just adding. That is really, really cool.
Yeah, the dry brushing looks incredible. With the edge highlights, especially on the horse's head. This disgusts me. He said the leaves. Okay, he glued the leaves down and then dry brushed them. All right, that's acceptable. I won't kill you. All right, and then another post from Jay Phoenix. The last 3 models from his Lannister starter set.
Ooh, nice.
Oh man, those would make really good. These would make really good like Talayan soldiers or Estalian soldiers.
The one covered in blood is just really cool.
Oh yeah, man, that guy had a rough day. Whatever he fought. I really like the halberdier.
Jeez,
like that's
such a
that's such a good looking captain.
That's so cool. It's a big army. Look at that. It's just really, really impressive.
Yeah, that's a solid starter set. And it's even got like a good number of, you could see it's got Jaime and Tyrion and what's her face, Cersei.
Yeah.
Is that also the mountain? Is that?
I'm assuming so, because he's quite large.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, great looking set.
Yeah, fuck yeah. You get a lot of good value for money. If this is this is just one box.
Yeah, he said this is the starter set for the this faction. They look really like the poses too. Like looking across the army, I don't think I see any repeat poses.
Yeah, it's insane. It's actually really, really good. You just have a lot of fun with that type of stuff then. Jeez, that's... I'm tempted. If I didn't have to paint like 1,000,000 points for fantasy, I would definitely buy some of these fucking minis, man.
Nifty sending in Archaon the Everchosen. Oh my god. I will never get tired of seeing this mini. And this is a really good, man, that's a big old fucking pile of skulls, man. That's a lot of bodies.
That must have been like, that's like 4 or 5 boxes of skulls, isn't it?
I don't know how many it is, but I can't imagine how much of a pain in the ass putting it together in a giant mound like that must have been.
That's impressive. Fucking hell.
Yeah, this is great. Like, I love this mini. Like, honestly, whenever someone's like, oh man, like, do you want a like an Age of Sigmar Total War game? Like, there's always a part of my brain that's like, not for a super long time, because we just did fantasy, There's another part of my brain that's like, but I want to see Dragon Archaon. Like, Dragon Archaon is so good.
Such a cool mini. The only thing is, I really get pissed off at the fact that obviously Slanesh is not on the dragon.
Yeah, but he at least does have Slanesh iconography like on his shield and stuff.
You can fix that. Just like, you know, an upgrade sprue, which just gives the dragon a giant fucking penis.
I knew you were gonna say that. I literally was like, you're just gonna say either put a head where his dong is or just add a dong. You're predictable. All right, moving on. Yeah, it looks great, dude. The paint job's really, really nice, especially the demon heads. And I really like the different color scheme you went for Archaon's sword too, where it's like the colors are inverted.
It is really, really cool.
Goat Force coming in with a Necromancer, and this was I love this Necromancer mini. This was the Necromancer that came out with the Storm of Magic set.
Yeah.
Classic Necromancer mini. He looks great. Cool. He's nice and grungy, as he should be. He's a dirty old man that's gross and is like clearly been going through a marshy Ben, and he looks awesome. I love this Necromancer.
I've seen a lot of people use this model to actually make a slug tongue miniature from this because of the hunchback style.
Oh yeah, he would work really good for slug tongue. Literally all you have to do is switch out like the head for a goat head, and I would probably like tone down the little like the I don't know what you call it, the little frill thing behind him.
Oh, that's a separate part. You don't even have to put it on if you don't want to.
What? Okay, yeah, no, yeah. This model was like made for slug tongue. Oh yeah, and like I'd probably like try and get some hooves where his feet are. But yeah. Damn. Looks great. Oh, I need to make sure I'm liking all these. I keep going past them. Like. Okay, there we go. I gotta get caught up. All right. Next up. Oh, Clark sending in a really interesting Kurdos Valentian mini. Wow, that's a really cool paint scheme. It's like magma ghosts.
Looks quite grim. I actually really like this.
It's actually it's even like more grim than the regular one too, because he chopped off the crown head and put on I think it's the Kralok the Jailer head. Or no, it's the regular. I think it's the regular Spirit Torment.
Very nice.
Yeah, which just kind of like adds an extra layer of creepiness that he's got a completely enclosed head. That's a nice looking. It's the magma theme lends itself really, really well to the ghost because it kind of looks more like they're like apparitions of like smoke and lava. But I don't know, like the lava color also like it can feel very grotesque because it almost has like a fleshiness to it. It looks great. Really great. I love Craven King. That's my model I'm about to start working on again once I finish cleaning off my painting desk. There's a bunch of old dog fur and dust I have to get off there. Next up, Ray is back with a Repulsor Executioner and Blade Guard Vets, as well as Anvil Industries Republic Grenadiers and Bloodstalkers. That was a lot of words.
It's a lot of minis to work at once. That's actually quite nice. Like, I do like that red that he's got there on the repulsor. That's pretty cool. On the panel up there in the front.
I like how tiny of a base this tank is sitting on. I assume
the tank is such a weird thing, honestly.
Yeah, it looks really good though. Like I'm really liking how all the paintings coming along really nice. Man, I actually really like these Grenadier models. Their armor has like a really nice like angularity to it that makes it very pleasing to look at for some reason.
You know what they remind me of? Way back in the day, we had, I can't remember what they were called, but it was the Adeptus something, which was essentially just a police force. And it just kind of reminds me of those.
They do look very police forcey.
That's really cool.
Oh god, I love Bloodstalkers. I hate fighting them. Bloodstalkers give me nightmares. But I do love their minis. I actually really like that the Daughters of Cain took the snake theme from the Medusa, the Blood Rack Medusa, and went further with it.
Adeptus Arbitus. That's exactly it. Thank you, Lorik. Sorry, it's just it was on my head for a while.
Look great. All these are coming along very, very nicely. I love seeing works in progress. I look forward to seeing them more. Oh, Jay Phoenix. Yeah, we were right. It is the mountain. And then
And Roos.
Oh, yeah, and Roose Bolton.
Nice. Mountain looks so fucking cool, man. Jeez.
He does. That looks like a man who is only keeping his shield with him, like, because he has to, but the second he starts fighting, he just, like, lets go of it and then beats you to death with his sword. And these minis have
for scale. Look at the scale.
Yeah, these minis look really nice without being
Roos
like super cool like they're able to get a lot of I feel like the minis are not gigantic, but they fit a lot of dynamicness into it, which is nice, because a lot of the time it feels like a lot of companies are like, oh well, to have like a really interesting pose mini, it has to be fucking massive. But I do like that these minis are not, I don't know, I like how like collected they almost feel.
Yeah, I really like Roos's miniature is fucking cool.
Yeah, it looks really good. Also,
they had a whole army of Bolton, didn't they? Full range, because
yeah, these are like Game of Thrones minis. Yeah,
this it would either be like, if I ever got the chance to play or just buy, I'd either get like House Bolton stuff or House Greyjoy stuff, because both of them are just fucking cool.
Yep. Looks great. Paint job is amazing as always. I can literally see fucking Roose's eyeballs. I can see his pupils, despite the fact he has like sunken in eyes, which, like, goddamn, dude. Simon sending in his first painted mini.
Oh, cool.
Which, dude, if that's your first fucking mini, wow, okay.
Yeah, that's really good for a first mini.
You are shockingly good at eyeballs for your first mini.
That's really, really cool.
And I
love skinks, man.
Yeah, I can understand your hatred for gold Vallejo. Dude, finding good gold is hard. Like, yeah. Good gold is like, even when you find like quote unquote a good gold, it might just be that particular batch you got. You might buy from the exact same company, the exact same gold, and it'll be shit the next time.
Yeah.
But I will tell you from personal experience, the way you do gold, paint very, very thin layer, let it sit for a minute. Then you add another really thin layer, let it sit for a minute, then you add another. That's how you do gold, because otherwise you're gonna hate yourself.
Fucking hate gold so much.
Hey, he's already doing like edge highlights on like the legs to show the musculature and the back spines, and he went with like a really cool color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. If this is your first paint job, I think you got a bright future ahead of you on painting. Like, I think yeah. Like, metallics, they're a funky thing to get used to. You'll get the hang of them with time. But yeah, looks great, dude. Next up, Prince Baron the Super Ego coming in with a Dreadlord with Chillblade and a black dragon egg. Ooh. I love when you fight a character that actually has all their items on the character. It just adds to it.
It's really cool. Gives me, like, I actually, from a distance, I looked at this. I looked at the miniature and I was like, "Is that Neferata? No, not Neferata. Yeah, God.
Khalida.
Khalida, yeah.
She definitely has very strong Tomb King vibes. With like the Khopesh and the like very, very Tomb King vibes, but like literally like would be such a badass looking model leading a Dark Elf army.
Very, very cool.
Just a Dreadlord that has taken very fondly to Nehekaran aesthetic, or has been raiding the Nehekarans a lot.
That is really, really cool.
We need more curved swords. Just in everything.
Curved
swords.
Once the sun rises and we finally get Araby.
Yep. Looks great. Really like the edge highlights. I don't know where you got the dragon egg from, but it looks really good on the mini. Oh, she's got like a little baby dragon or creature thing on her shoulder. Looks awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we've got the one and only Hammond doing a Kitbashed Mega Boss by Kitbosh on YouTube. It's gonna be my unpaid intern Grimgor model for when he was a slave of the Chaos Dwarfs. Ah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's a beef. That orc just looks beefy.
It's that's really cool because it's like it just gives you living stone vibes, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
how
yeah. It
looks.
does. It looks like I'm seeing him rendered in like a comic book style or in a movie as he's in motion.
Yes.
But it's only black and
Yes.
white for some reason. But it's like really, yeah, it's a really nice aesthetic.
It's so cool.
Nifty's back with, oh, I think this is the Archaon we saw earlier. Looking
Yeah,
good.
it was an update.
Yep.
He's actually doing the base. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Look at that. How do you balance that thing?
Dude, I will say, best thing about modern GW plastic is how light even all the giant minis are, so it's like a lot easier to balance them. But yeah, I don't know how the, oh, look, if you look really closely, you can actually see he's got a stand impaled in the leg, holding it on.
Oh.
Or in the tail. The tail
Yeah.
that you can see there's something sticking out of the skull pile to keep it. Next up, we've got metal highlights and tough bases still need to be done, but working on classic Graveguard. Oh, I love rust on undead weapons and armor. Rust is so sexy.
These are cool.
Nice banner too. Banner looks really cool.
Yeah.
I always have I will never do it because I don't hate myself, but I always have massive respect for freehand banners.
That's so cool. Yeah, I know it is definitely something really special. The rust is nice.
Yeah, the rust looks really good.
I used to always get a little on edge when I'd play someone who was bringing vampire counts. I would bring, that like death blob of fucking Graveguard back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be so scary.
Yeah, Graveguard were very, very spooky. Then we've got Spark Pants coming out us with a host of characters. We've got a Thanquol and Bone Ripper, which looks absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to see in Total War with a really, really beautiful base too. Really nice base. Skin looks disgusting in an excellent way. We've got the classic Deathmaster next to the new Deathmaster. That's funny. Yeah. Also shows how perfectly they're on the exact same base size. So yeah, so you got old Deathmaster versus new Deathmaster. Very nice. We've got the old metallic Ikit Claw.
Nice. Such a pretty mini.
And then old Queek Headtaker.
Hey, my boy.
Queek.
Fun fact. I actually once in a tournament, in a moment of pure rage, this is why I don't play competitive stuff on like live Total War and stuff, slammed my own Queek into the wall that left a little bit of indent.
that
holds up well.
That was the good thing about old metal minis. You could throw them and throw them at things or people and know that the mini would be fine. It would be the thing they were going at that was going to have a problem.
Exactly that. We need that back, man. We need that back.
Yeah. Do you have rage problems? Then pick up these minis.
Metal steam tank. That's what they need to bring back for the 40th anniversary. A metal fucking steam tank.
Oh my god, dude! You just bring back the metal stegodons. The ones where they were so dense you could literally like assault someone with them. And then we got a bunch of Chaos minis from Spark Pants as well. We've got Archaon the Everchosen. We've got the new Sigvald the Magnificent. We've got old school Village the Curseling, and we've got old Festus as well. He's got just all sorts of chaos. Oh, he's got a Valkia there too. He's got every Chaos God and Archaon. And a lot of these guys look like it's the old metallic versions.
1 second, I need to move the cats before he does something. Come here. No, that's where the power button is.
Got a nice collection of characters, Spark Pants. How many years ago or what edition? Metal minis were really popular in 6th edition fantasy. I think 6th edition was the last edition they really went ham on metal. I think 7th edition forward, everything was plastic. Yeah. And then around like 8th edition, they started to come out with resin for like whenever they would update minis.
Thankfully, yeah, I think it was around that time, yeah.
Yep. got a really nice collection there, man. Very, very nice. Have you settled your cat struggles?
Yeah, he's down now.
All right, so Glad sending in a. Oh, they're like bug sisters or Nurgle sisters.
Ooh, I like this. I really like this.
Oh, make sure you go into the replies so you can see the penitent engine. Oh no, she's not sending the penitent engine, but she's got a banner. Yeah, so they're Nurgle. Oh, these look really good. I really like these.
That is so cool.
Nurgle corrupted sisters with like, they got like bug feet and like three eyes.
Wait. I also have a penitent engine, but I don't want to risk a Twitter ban. How fucking grim is it?
Yeah, Twitter's pretty forgiving when it comes to miniatures.
I want to see.
Plus I've seen literal porn
Yeah.
on Twitter. It would have to be insanely grotesque for Twitter not
this
to.
is so fucking cool. Oh, these are so awesome.
Yeah, these are beautifully sculpted, or these are beautifully kit bashed. Sculpted. They look sculpted. Really well done. Man. We've also next up, Prince Baron said during a Morthy stream made a halberdier musician. I like
so cool.
Yeah, I love that he's going to assault someone with the drum instead of playing it.
It's so cool.
Looks very, very good. Headcanon coming in with a Village the Curseling. Oh, really cool. Oh, wow, your army looks great. A lot of classic minis.
It's fucking awesome.
Man, that village looks nice. That's a nice grungy style. Black, gold, and red for Zinch. Really embracing the fire aspects, but like really, really nice job. And he looks excellent in the army. The Brimstone horrors actually line up really nice with that, and it allows the horrors to also like pop really, really heavily, since the rest of the army is different colors that are much more grunge.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Looks good. Next up, Jessica Symes coming in with a, oh, I forget what this thing's called. A hell something? What is this thing called?
I should know. I have 4 of them. Fuck.
Is it a Mauler Beast? Or I don't remember what this thing's called.
Oh god.
Chat, help.
I literally have
I said chat, help.
I literally have 4 of them. How do I not know what they're called?
I don't know, man. I can't read your mind.
Forge Fiend.
A Forge Fiend. Oh, I see. Okay.
This is fucking cool.
Yeah, looks really, really good. It's a really cool monster. I really like this monster. And then we got a old school Demon Prince too. Looking very, very nice.
Have the new ones come out yet?
Yes. I think you could pick them up with the 40K, the new 40K stuff. I forget. Have they come out yet? I don't know. Because I know the Demon Prince, it's the same sculpt for 40K and AOS. But I don't know, because I know the Slaves to Darkness stuff doesn't come out until this winter. I don't know if the...
Yeah, it comes out with the Slaves to Darkness kit.
Oh, really? Okay. Never mind then. New Prince is
time
not
to
out
buy,
yet. Oh.
Gives me time to buy a few more classics, because I've got about 5 Demon Princes, but I want a few more, because I'm just like having fun kit bashing them. There's such a fun kit to sort out.
I never noticed this Demon Prince has a coke nail on his other hand.
Yeah. Clearly should have been painted in pink.
They look great, Jessica. They look absolutely great. Hyo's coming in with Archaon on foot. Oh man.
Not every day you see one of these minis anymore.
Yeah, no, this is really nice. Archaon on foot is very rare to see nowadays. That just beautiful classic mini. Really tasteful use of the bloodstains as well. looks super nice.
He was always just so much better on foot when you played him, if you ever played him on tournaments and stuff, because on the mount he was just such a fucking target.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you could put him in a unit of Chaos Knights, but he could get shot with a cannon pretty easy since he was a different base size.
Exactly. So you just want to put him in foot with the other units, and then you get the 2+ lookout, sir.
Yep. Oh, God, he looks so good.
It's fucking cool miniature, man.
Yep. Very, very nice. And then Phoenix is back again with Knights of Casterly.
Casterly Rock.
Yep. God, and look, God, look how fucking stupidly nice these bases seamlessly go into the larger unit base with the road.
That's really nice. That is honestly really, really fucking cool.
Looks great as always, Phoenix. I don't know what else to say. Like, your stuff just looks fucking amazing. Good job.
Makes us look bad.
Yeah, really. Tales from the Old World sending in a Dark Elf chariot conversion.
Ooh.
So looks like he says he added spiked terrain. Oh, people on spikes. Oh. Oh, damn. Yeah, okay, now I see it when I actually clicked on the image. Yeah, they're just Vlad the Impaler style impaled people. Looks like you got an impaled dwarf and an impaled high elf. Oh man, that is grim. Very suitable for dark elves.
Actually, that's something to note. Why do the dark elves have a updated version of the cold ones, but the lizardmen don't?
I don't want to talk about it. And the answer is the lizardmen do have new cold ones. That's the heartbreaking part. Is we got those new cold ones in like 6th or 8th or 7th or 8th edition. They're not the same as the 6th edition cold ones. But they're still terrible looking. And the reason that we don't have the really badass ones is because the Saurus are too fat. They're way too big for the Dark Elf cold ones. They look ridiculous on them.
Oh, that's a shame because they look so nice. It just gives me that whole is it Godzilla 1 or Godzilla 2 vibes?
Yeah, yeah. These are I really like the Dark Elf cold ones so much more than the Lizardman ones. I really like the Lizardman cold ones in Total War, but I don't like the ones we have on Tabletop.
Yeah.
All right. We've got a zombie from Tactical Sign that's coming along very nicely. I really like the new zombies. They're just funny to me.
Yeah.
Like in a really good way. Like it just I love that a lot of them have their like gravestones or whatever nailed into them, but they got up anyway.
That's so cool. It's a shame that these ones can't really be ranked on 20s.
Yeah, probably have to find a creative way to make them work. But have you tried with the new generic set ones, or have you only tried with the Cursed City ones?
The generic kit, but they can rank, but it's like you remember trying to rank up the Dark Elf Corsairs?
Oh yeah, so it's just like it sounds like they're the kind of minis like I would have to do this with my Saurus warriors, where if I rank them up, I would have to like flip over their base and mark a number so I knew where they were in the unit because they only ranked up in a very specific way.
Yeah, it's a common issue that we had in fantasy. I mean, Bloodletters were like that, but that's why I just refuse to play them because I just don't have enough whiskey in my house for that.
Yeah, I had to get used to it with Lizardmen because every single Lizardman unit does not rank together because of their tails, unless you rank them in a very specific fashion. All right, Multi Marcus coming in. We've got the Witch Hunter duo, the father and daughter witch hunters from Age of Sigmar, who are perfect and amazing for fantasy as well. And man, the paint job on this is clean as fuck.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
And then Kroxigor, big ol' 8th edition Kroxigor, which is my favorite iteration of the Kroxigor mini that currently exists. I definitely think it could be improved upon, but he has all the classic components, which I really, really enjoy. I much prefer this style of Kroxigor to Total War's garbage. But though my favorite Kroxigor mini right now is the new Blood Bowl one, not Glottal Stop, but the generic one.
This is that Teto Echoes mini on the top?
That's Tic Tac Toe.
Tic Tac Toe. Yeah, Jesus Christ, it's fucking
yeah, that's the
skinks.
The Bane of Be'lakor, yes. Tic-tac-toe on Zwup. Really nice paint job. I really like what he did with the helmet on Tic-tac-toe. He did a really nice job adding gleams onto like the rubies in the helmet. Man, I hate flight stands. Like, they function, but like they make me nervous.
Yeah, they always like look like they're gonna snap.
Yeah, and if they snap, I could say from personal experience, it is genuine agony to try and fix it. Because like they just like I think for like if I ever get back into playing Seraphon on table and I end up getting more flying units, I'm literally just gonna like try and find pieces of terrain that I can glue them to. Because doing this, like, it's so scary. But like, man, this paint job is so clean. Like, you can see Zwup's eyeball really nicely. And he free painted designs on the pterodon wings and head, which look really good.
That's really, really nice. Honestly, I just can't bring myself to play Lizardmen in 8th. Honestly, I really can't. I like them as an army, but
I love them. They're so goddamn strong. They're not as strong as they were in 7th, but they are very, very good still. 7th edition Lizardmen were just broken because they were made in response to the demons, so they were super over the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this looks really good. And like the highlights he did on the croc score looks incredible too. It really helps those bulging muscles stand out. Everybody needs a croc score, daddy. Look at that thing. Could you imagine how good of hugs this man would give? Moving on. Hyos sending in some Minotaurs. Oh, these are these the old? Yeah, these are the old ones. So this is before they got the bulging muscle update. Or no, this has to be from a different publisher.
It must be, yeah.
I don't remember Minotaurs looking this good. The old minis. And
No,
these are
they
definitely
don't.
not the new minis.
No, I've painted fucking 6 Minotaurs recently. Like these look so much better. These what are they? Where are they from?
I don't know, but like look at all that armor. Like these guys are loaded. Like they're still very good looking. Because like the modern fantasy ones are just like they're so bulky. Because they're just like brr, like they're just Hulk muscles. Which is fine. It's just a different style. I think I personally lean more towards the armored style. But
yeah, I mean, this gives a proper chaos vibe, doesn't it, man?
Yeah, well, like you say to me, like, hey, my Minotaurs have a 5-up armor save, and I look at these and I go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look really good. Nice. Chaos Undivided, perfect. Beautiful paint job, too. Good job, Hyos. Wow. God, I hate your name. Bear. Damn. That is
fucking word bearers.
The pop on these colors is insane.
Yeah, the flame is.
Dude, that pink purple fire. Whew. And like the blood looks amazing. It looks actually wet somehow. And like the red, man, damn, that's a really nice look. Oh my god, look at the transition on the boots for like the dust.
That's really, really cool.
Ohio says he got the Minotaurs off eBay, but he has no idea what company they're from. Thanks, Hyos. That's helpful. The gold looks really good. Man, this is a gorgeous paint job. You can see like he has red eyeballs and like, oh man. Damn, Bear. Really that is a shocking paint job. Like sexy level. Another Archaon Nifty. Oh, the Dead Men of Dunharrow.
Nice.
Oh god, that's such a good job on the ethereal effect. Like it's ethereal, but the different aspects of the minis are subtly different colors, so you can still tell everything that's going on. Like the weapons are a different color, and the robes and the banners are different colors, just subtly. Really nice.
Get back into Lord of the Rings minis, man. It's just so cool.
My problem is that if I ever was gonna get back into Lord of the Rings, I'd really want like dragons or something. So like I'd want to play Smog, but he's like $600.
Yeah.
And like, but I know apparently you could play Smog. I don't know if you could play him in Lord of the Rings, but I know you could play him in the Hobbit game, and he's like, he is your army.
Yeah, he's basically a one-man army. I've got an army of White Hand Uruks because I used to love like when the films came out. I was like, I fucking love the Urukai from Saruman. So I've got a massive army of those. As I started collecting, I got a lot of Haradrim when they came out for the Return of the King. Because I mean, giant fucking elephants. What's not to love, right?
Yeah, I will say the new Easterlings are pretty awesome. Like the Dragon
Oh
Emperor,
yeah,
I really like the look of the Dragon Emperor.
so cool, so fucking cool.
I really like monsters, and they don't like I like the Lord of the Rings has draconic monsters. I feel like if I was gonna get into it, I would either want to play with a Balrog, the Witch King on a Fell Beast, or with Smog. But I don't know. Maybe they'll release generic dragons at some point. It'd be nice to see more dragons.
Yeah,
Uh,
so cool.
then we got Commissar Azura back with the Bug Riders, the Dune dudes from Necromunda.
Dustari, I love the name.
Yeah, I just really like these minis. Like I really like that Necromunda is fleshing out a lot of the aliens of 40K. Looks really nice.
Yeah,
Good paint job too. Looks very good.
it's really fun. Like the carapace looks slimy. It's
Yep.
fucking great.
Yep. Yep. They look disgusting and dusty, and the riders look just as dusty and gross. But if I lived out there, I'm sure I'd be nasty too. And then Gustav, coming in here with a just fucking gorgeous. I feel like we've seen this before.
When was the last time we did Lorebeards?
I don't fucking know, but I feel like I recognize this Mega Gargant because it's a very distinct Mega Gargant. I'm 100% sure I've seen this many before, but I don't know if we covered it on Lorebeards or not.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm 100% confident. Okay. We're caught up. Oh my God. We're only 30 minutes over schedule. Actually, no, we started 30 minutes late. So actually we're right on schedule. Man, my nose is like super congested for some reason. But all right. So we are all caught up. I'm going to refresh one more time. Okay, no, good. Nobody did any late entries. So yeah, that is us for today. Cool. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. We hope you had a very good time, and we're glad we're caught up on minis. I'm sure there's a bunch of minis sitting in my Discord, but I will post those up for next time. We will be back this Sunday for the regular time and day. So if you want to get some more Lorebeards action, make sure to join us Sunday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 3 p.m. your time.
Time zones.
Okay. Anyway, it's 3 p.m. BST. I assume Nathan's BST.
No, that would be 4 p.m. my time.
Okay. There you go. Anyway, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But thank you all again for joining. We hope you all have a lovely day, lovely week, and your weekend gets off to a great start until we see you again on Sunday. Make sure that if you are, and your minis don't have to be done. You can send us works in progress, and it also doesn't have to be Warhammer stuff. It could literally be anything. So feel free to send us your hobby stuff. And Nathan, you got any closing words or whatever?
Actually, let me just see what day it is.
It is the 29th of September.
Just to put an open challenge out there, because obviously next month is October. So October. If anyone has greenskins, that'd be a good idea.
Big greenskin stuff.
And your green board's done.
Chorf stuff. Hey, listen, we'll talk about Chorfs as soon as we have Chorf news, but we don't have any Chorf news right now.
Yeah, like eventually.
Some point. In any event, thank you all for watching. Hope you all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.